However, these are the things, little moments as I'm describing, was literally all just outside a door, walking to places, you know, having people running up to my granddad or my grandma, and they'll just be talking. And here I am, I can't even probably sit still because my mind is running off from, like, I don't even know why I'm here for this long. I thought was so probably long after leaving Sunday school, right? And the only friend was the only person that showed up with me, which is so funny. And we got something in common, right? I like wrestling. My grandma is literally in a whole different section of the building, going over hymns. And the pastor know my family, and he know my dad, he know his sisters, my aunties, formerly. Right? But this is the part where I would then say, well, now this title, called by Christ, it started to then now have a little bit more depth than what was appearing to me, or what was just, what my senses can gravitate. I'ma still bleed, but yet there's so many people, but yet there's very few very few of heart to heart connections, and for the reasons of that is endless. And I'm not getting into that right now. Some things will get brought out of a person's being. Being called by Christ consists of hurt, but you're not alone, and that is key. With that being said, today, at this moment in time, I have the chance to not redo, go back, make perfect. But if it was some of the words that I can remember my dad told me, even just as a young chap, today it blows my mind. Because all I can do is just only but one. Not why he said what he said, and not why he was just so loose. Not to say that he didn't mean what he said, and I didn't even, I wasn't paying attention, because I was, and I'm listening. But it goes to show sometimes you don't need to see no cross for you to get the picture. But sometimes, like a ring on somebody's hand, do you say I do to the people when questioning now then of your intelligence? Or is your I do only then being from when you want to make a point because of a cause, for the simple fact that you just don't want to seem like the awkward one? Because somebody say I do, but your answer to some things that you deem to be ignorant, like as if somebody can spot something that seems so obvious when in fact it isn't always as obvious until you get a little closer. Maybe that I need to understand that let me have a partner, and not just only just be something to someone else, because that's not how. However, as when I take a look and then I'm walking in churches and people are then now are not just only just listening, people are not only just being silent when not then being told to be silent, though you should listen and take heed of orders. But the point is, today there's where there's that vigor. That spice. It's that there's a sense of certainty, but then of course being human, these are then where choices are now to be that niche, to where one can then look at something, or someone can be in an area, could walk from a whole different land, go in a whole nother land with different people, talk different people, having different dialects, and then yet the one thing that then comes down to it, faith. Then again, even a fool can be wise. But the point is, I was once called by Christ, and it didn't have to take of what is to be of some. In this sense, Christ called me from just not just only where I was at. I had to be aligned with those before me, and even those that I probably may have not really got to grow with as much as I would choose to. If the option was there, I was called by Christ because of the simple fact what was deemed as then of words like church and temple and fellowship, worship, praise. But then one has to then not want to then think, well, your life is going to just be all just one bowl of fruits and a cup of juice, and you're just sitting on a rock. I say that because right now I don't have a significant right now as of this day. And again, this is for a different time, and this is for a different sex. To say sometimes, again, what is it gonna be like for me when not just only just talking about it, and not just only just wanting to just brag about then of now the things that I was blessed to live out, instead of being a blessing that's only taken as spoil because of someone not else's beliefs and not someone else's affairs. When the time comes where then now of expansion, which does, then what am I going to do differently? So when those that then came before me and they realize some things that they might not have the modern language that can get a point across, or they don't appeal to the eye of those that then has them to show and say, oh, yo, okay, you this, that, and the third, and you. That's not, again, that's not gimmick. That's just called being authentic, and to put that in actually in some grandioso quote. I can't even put a time on that. But I just wanted to share just simply about, again, when being called by Christ, it does come with acceptance, and it does consist through acceptance. Then there's that appointing time. I just had to get over the fact that who I would have thought to do these so-called things, may not be the ones that may actually be called to. Sometimes that may sound so simple, but yet those things can get easily complicated. For some, it may be for the reasons because of things not having to be so disorganized. You know how to get something across with not having to then keep note of something that then seem like you only using it because until you go ask somebody else if they got it, and then if they got it, then you gotta go try to keep up with them type of thing. You know, if that makes sense. So I just want to close this off by saying that the fact that this is me, and as I continue, this is me now sharing that I have to realize if I didn't, I have been called by Christ. And if I have to keep waiting on somebody else, which would be the death of me, and if I have to then always keep rooting for some opposition, so then there will be something that can be welcomed, even though I'm not even wanting to get involved with of things that is communal, and things that can actually could appreciate a little bit of, you know, something that can be introduced, that can maybe broaden some things and maybe can actually have access. Or if there's already access, then maybe some things can be shut, so things can then now realize there was something closed, it had its time, this was the view, this was the thoughts, these were the things that then people were concerned, such and such and such and such and such. Now, what can then be introduced that can then be of the newly, that then now actually can then now start to be on this wavelength, that then now those cannot just say, oh man, I just thought about that, but instead can say, well, God good that then there was people that actually had at least courage just to step out. When Christ has then had that call by whoever, however, whenever, are you going to pick up?